Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name's Carol Beer and I'm one of the Vice Principals at KG5, and I have the privilege of working with new parents and students who are joining our school this year. Welcome to this presentation. It's going to be a presentation of two halves. The first part of the presentation is really an update on where we are in terms of supporting your child through this, and you actually, through this transition process. And then the second part of the session will be more focused upon our laptop program. Okay, so just wanted to give you a real overview of what's going to happen in this presentation, so you get an idea of what's coming up. We are really committed to making sure that we're doing everything possible to make sure we have a really positive transition for your families as you move over to KG5. And that for us really means fostering a sense of well-being and fostering a sense of belonging amongst your families, and particularly with your child as they come from their current primary school through to KG5 school. So we are doing, as I say, everything we can to get to know your child, and eventually we'll give you the opportunity to come and get to know even more about the school that they're moving to. So the presentation today is going to start with, in a second, you're going to meet our new head of Year 7, who is Miss Galley, and she's going to introduce herself, and she's going to work alongside Mr. Miller next year, supporting your children through their Year 7 KG5 experience. After that, you'll get to listen to Miss Darma, who is our RTI data coordinator, and she's going to talk a little bit about some of the information that we're going to collect on your child, which will enable us to really get a clear idea of the support or extension opportunities they need when they come into our school. I'll pop in a little bit after Miss Darma, and I'll talk a little bit about opportunities that are available to you for you and your child to come into KG5 over the next couple of weeks, before we finally hand over to Mr. Shield, who is our NYP coordinator, who will spend a little bit of time with you introducing Mr. Glover, who is in charge of our laptop program for Year 7 for next year. So really there's quite a bit of information coming through, but hopefully you get the opportunity to meet some more of the KG5 staff, and you get to put a name or a face to the name and a name to the face. So hope you find this really useful, and I will see you later in the presentation. Thank you.
Hello parents of our next Year 7 cohort of students. My name is Leah Gao, and I'm going to be one of the heads of Year 7 for next school year, along with Mr. Sean Miller. I'm a PE teacher at KG5 and I absolutely love my job. When I'm not at school, I love to spend time with my family and my friends, and I'm happiest when I'm in and around the sun and the sea. I'm Australian, but I've lived in Hong Kong for the last 14 years and I call Hong Kong home. I think people would say that I'm energetic, fun, happy, and quick to laugh. So next school year, my plan is to spend lots and lots of time with the new students. I want to really get to know them and become an expert on them. When I'm getting to know them, I'm doing this so that I can provide them the best support possible, whether that's academic or well-being. So I'm really looking forward to meeting your children next year and getting to know you a lot better in the new school year as well. Now I'm going to hand over to Miss Jo Stamer.
Hi Year 6 parents, my name is Josh Darma and my job at KG5 is to assess students, all students coming in as well as students currently in the school. So today I just wanted to speak to you briefly about the way KG5 uses data to test new students coming into the school, and in specific the new group reading test and the progress test in maths. So KG5 has moved from a reactive to a predictive planning school, meaning that we try to predict as much as possible about students coming in before they come into the school, so we can make those changes and we can help support a child before they arrive at the school. We have two test instruments that we use. The first one is the new group reading test. And this is a pen to paper test that we have just given your students if they attended KJS or Clearwater Bay School. The other one is like the progress test in maths, which is this one here. We've now adapted one similar called the Wide Range Achievement Test. And these tests help us to give us some grades for your child. Okay, so new group reading test and the RAT5, these are both systems of measurement that allow us to analyse student data before entry into KG5. The purpose being for your child to be given the adequate support or extension from day one. There's just some information about it, some statistics, and especially on the side here, it's what the new group reading test measures. And again, here is the RAT5, the elements of it, of what this measures. Okay, so when we do the test, they give us a standard score. And the standard score has a mean of 100 and a standard deviation of 9. And so for that mean, we give the standard scores several descriptors. And just have a look at those. Also, there's just a bell curve over here that just helps us to explain it visually. So an average child we would expect to be around the 100 mark. So then we go through strategic data analysis on both assessments, and they're converted, a raw score is converted to a standard score. This then gives our RTI team, or our response to intervention team, information as to how we can best support your child. So we do this through monitoring, intervention or extension, or follow up with me as a specialist assessor. And this is where I come in and have a look and then test your child specifically on a certain area. Just remember, it's not all about the numbers. KG5 works closely with our primary feeder schools to ensure we have the stories behind the numbers. Open communication between primary and secondary is instrumental for the smooth transition of your child.
Hi everybody, I'm back again. I hope you found that information from Stema really useful in identifying what kind of baseline testing we're going to do to get to know your child a little bit better. As I say, we are committed to making sure that we know everything possible about your child to help make their transition as smooth as possible. With our mission, vision and values centred around the idea of a school for one, we truly believe that we are here to cater for your child and to help them in any way they need to make sure that they advance in their learning and make the most of their time at KG5. We are continuing to work with our primary schools over the next couple of months as we collect more data on your child, and we're going to spend some time after the Easter break talking to the teachers from our main primary schools as well, just to get to know your children a little bit more. I'm aware that when this presentation goes out that some of your children won't have completed those baseline tests. We've particularly at the moment focused on our two largest feeder schools, so we've spent time with KJS and Clearwater Bay School. So if your child goes to one of those two schools, they will have already sat some of our baseline testing already. In the interest of parity and equality across all the schools, and obviously to make sure that we get to know all of our children as well as possible, we are opening up the invitation for any children who have not already completed those baseline testing to do so over the Christmas break. Okay, so we are not in a position at the moment to actually tell you the specific dates, but it is likely to be the second week in Easter and looking to be Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. That we will be inviting parents and students from any other school except KJS and Clearwater Bay to come into KG5 at a particular time on one of those 3 days for their baseline tests to be undertaken. Now, that will involve your child being in school for a couple of hours. So to actually, we'll recognise that you'll be coming in and supporting your child through that process. We are offering any parents who come in with their children during those 3 days the opportunity to take part in a school tour. Okay, so we'll be conducting parent tours with children who come on our campus during the Easter holidays to complete their baseline tests. Okay, so whilst your child is completing those baseline tests, you'll be taken around school by one of our team to be able to show you some of those facilities. Okay, so we look forward to inviting you into school, and I will make sure that I send emails out giving more dates as soon as they've been confirmed by ESF. We're also looking to invite our Year 6 students more formally into KG5 after the Easter break. We're currently working with our primary schools to try and secure some dates. They are likely to involve students coming into our campus in the afternoon slot. So obviously with the current regulations and rules regarding how long children can stay on a particular site and half-day schooling, we are looking to work with our primaries to open up our school for an afternoon experience at KG5, and that will, be in smaller groups. Unfortunately, it won't still be our, big experience where we get the whole of our new Year 7s coming in at the same time. But we feel it's really, really important for students to get a real sense of what our place is like. That helps to start to develop our sense of belonging as they get to spend some time on our campus and hopefully actually meet some of our teachers as well during that time. So again, I can't confirm any dates at the moment. We're working with our primary schools, and as soon as I have that date, we'll be able to send those out to you and you'll be able to plan around it. But in the meantime, we've actually put together some virtual tours. They're quite cool actually, and they involve students. The link will be sent to you, so your child and you and your child will be able to sit together and have a virtual experience around our school. As you take in, I think there are about 4 or 5 different routes you can take as you go around the KG5 campus, and at different points along the route, you're able to click a little icon on the screen, and that will take you to a member of staff who will introduce you in their particular classroom as well. So it's not the same, okay, but it's a step in the right direction to you being able to experience what the KG5 campus is all about. A message from our PTSA team. They are putting together for us a wonderful WhatsApp group. Now, I know we all love and hate WhatsApp groups, but we feel at the moment that it's better to be able to answer your questions in a more timely manner, and for you really as a team of parents to get to know each other as you go through this transition together. So in the email that I'll send out accompanying this presentation, there will be a QR code for you to be able to use to sign up, should you wish to be part of the new WhatsApp group for new parents coming into KG5. This will mean it'll give Kieran from our PTSA the opportunity to communicate with you more regularly and for you to be able to ask those questions as and when you need them. So look out for that QR code and please make sure that you sign up should you wish to. Another thing that we've been asked quite a few questions about is, the process by which you can start ordering your uniform and your supplies from our PTSA shop. For those parents who come onto the site over Easter, as part of the school tour, you'll be taken to the PTSA shop and you'll be able to actually see some of the prototypes, or there's some of our uniform samples to be able to see what size and measurements your child will need for their particular uniforms. So as you're part of your tour, when you come on site over Easter, you'll be able to pre-order your uniforms and you'll be able to pre-order your supplies to be able to pick up at a later date. If you're from Clearwater Bay or from KJS, when those parent tours open up to you after the Easter break, and again, there'll be afternoon slots for you to take advantage of, you'll also be able to go on a parent tour and also be able to pre-order your uniform and your stationery supplies. Okay, so look out for information on that, and then hopefully that WhatsApp group, which the PTSA will run, will be able to give you a more timely response to any of those questions that you've got. Okay, that's it from me. I'm going to hand over to Mr. Shiel and then eventually to Mr. Glover for the rest of this presentation. So take care. Thanks for listening today.
Thanks, Carol. Yeah, I'm Duncan Shiel, the NYP coordinator at KG5, and last time we spoke, we looked at the curriculum that your child will be studying. This is the middle years program and all the subjects and exciting things they have ahead of them. This time our focus isn't going to be so much on the subjects. Instead, we're going to talk about the resources that are available to support your child as they go through this program and actually through all 7 years with us at the school. Now, we're really fortunate at KG5. We are resourced incredibly well with specialist equipment in almost every subject area, teamed with technicians that can support the use of that equipment. We also have a phenomenal library with all sorts of exciting things for our students to engage with. But when it comes to resources to support learning, probably the one that they use most on a daily basis is their laptop. And in a second, Lewis Glover is going to talk you through our school's one-to-one laptop program. Now, just by way of introduction, I want to tell you a little bit about why we have this program and how those laptops are used at KG5. And they are used in so many ways. But put simply, the laptop enables teachers to support students in this inquiry-driven curriculum. They will be taught the skills and techniques used to make the most of this device. And that's not all. The laptop also allows teachers to personalize learning, making use of various software platforms and programs that we have to make sure that the students' learning is tailored to them. And then, like all of us, the students will learn that through their laptop they can improve their own organization skills, as well as to be able to communicate with the wider world. Now, that tool, as a tool of communication, has been vital in the last year, but is important all the time at KG5. In fact, just tomorrow, we have 300 Year 9 students who will be zooming in with various charitable organizations across Hong Kong, picking their brains on how they can best support a community cause. Right, anyway, to give you more details on the laptop program, Lewis Glover is here to talk you through the process of acquiring the laptop and using the laptop.
Thank you, Duncan. As Duncan said, I am the Learning Technology Coordinator, and I'm here to talk about the laptop program in more detail. As you can see behind me, a wonderful picture of the Learning Resource Centre that Duncan mentioned, which is fully kitted out with iPads and other technology in order to help enhance student learning when they're using the LRC. A great example of how KG5 is fitted out with technology. So in this section, I really want to get through 3 main points. The first one is to show you the KG5 one-to-one laptop site. This is your one-stop shop to all the information about the laptop program and how to order the laptop. I'm going to demonstrate how to actually purchase the laptop and explain how students are going to use the laptop in their learning and how we support these devices. I wanted to show you the journey we've been on as far as our learning technology development goes. We've been having laptops in school now since 2009, but the first part of the process started back in 2006 with investigating how we were going to build the laptop program, and in 2009 then getting our first devices, all the way now to we've got learning technology fully integrated within our curriculum. We continually are updating our devices as well as our CPD for all teaching staff, and making sure that we're updating our Lionel 2 systems and making sure they're fit for purpose for what we need them to do at school. At KG5, we do insist that year 7 to 9 have to buy a certain model through a winning vendor every year. This year, the winning vendor is HP. The reason we do this is because we need consistency for all. That means teachers and students know exactly what device they've got in the classroom. Teachers know exactly what software is on the device and can support students in a more effective way because they're used to that particular model. So a big question we get asked is, why do year 7s to 9s have to buy a certain model through our vendor, which in this year is HP? The main reason is consistency. By having the same model for all year 7, 8 and 9 students, we can decrease learning disruption. We can fix the computers without invalidating the warranty because they are part of the program. We have access to HP technicians who can fix machines that we can't fix ourselves. We send them off. And whilst we do this, we give students learning units to minimize disruption to their learning. The help desk technicians become experts in one model, which makes them more efficient and makes us able to fix machines and get students back in the classroom quicker. And we can re-image machines a lot easier because they're the same model. If we have complex software issues, we can just back up the machine, re-image it, and send students back into the classroom efficiently. Part of the scheme is also the accidental damage protection. This means that you have one free fix a year for any damage that is made to the laptop. I will talk about this in a little bit more detail later. Also, being part of the laptop program means we can hook the machines up to our network, which gives students access to our school resources. So the one-stop shop with all the information is our one-to-one laptop site. I'm going to disappear off camera now and I'm going to give you a demo of how this site works.
This is our one-to-one laptop website. The first page is solely to get you started and to select which type of parent you are. So most of you watching this presentation will be Year 7 parents next year. So your child will be starting KG5 next academic year. There are options for children that are currently studying at KG5 or if you just want to have a general browse of the website. But most of you are going to be clicking on this link here. This takes you to a page about this evening's presentation, and I'll be posting the YouTube video of this entire presentation on this page. If you scroll down on this page, you will see that there are two options. Most of you watching this presentation will be 7, 8, 9 parents, but there are possibly some parents watching this who are year 10 and above. So I'm going to select 7, 8 and 9, and I'll talk later about year 10 and above. So the third page you get to actually has more detail about the laptop that has been selected this year. There is some information about KG5's vision as far as the use of technology. And then we have the winning laptop for this year, which is HP. It's the ProBook G8. It has an Intel i5 processor. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is plenty for year 7, 8, 9 students. It has a 256 solid state drive, which is again plenty for year 7, 8, 9 students, especially considering they're going to be storing most of their work on the cloud through our Google Drive system. Comes with a 13.3-inch touchscreen, free cell battery, which should last most of the day if they're using it in every lesson. It's also a good idea for them to bring a charger, and there are plenty of charging points within classrooms if need be. Comes with Windows 10, has 3 years ADP. ADP is accidental damage protection, and we believe this is vitally important, especially for our year 7, 8, 9 students. Accidents do happen. Carrying a laptop in a rucksack every school day for 3 years, there are going to be mishaps. So the accidental damage protection plan means that you get one fix of the laptop from HP a year. So for instance, if a child has an accident with their laptop and breaks it, they take it to our help desk. The help desk will try to fix it themselves. Because we have this relationship with HP and the laptop is bought through this scheme, we do not invalidate the warranty if our help desk technicians open up the laptop. But if they can't fix it, then they can send it to Hewlett-Packard and they will fix it once per year for free. If there is a second breakage within the same year, then you will be charged. Another benefit of having the relationship with the vendor, in this case HP, is that we also receive some loaner units. These units are used to replace broken laptops whilst they're being fixed. So for instance, a student laptop has a problem, they bring it to the help desk. The help desk will help them back up their files, though most of them probably will be in the Google Drive. Then they will receive a loaner unit to take back to class to be able to continue on with learning without disruption. Then, when the laptop comes back from HP fixed, the help desk will help transfer the files back again, and then the student has received their fixed laptop with minimal impact on learning. You can upgrade your secondary storage, upgrading from 256 gigabyte solid state drive to 512, and you can actually buy extra chargers. The average year 7, 8, 9 student will not need extra memory and extra secondary storage in our experience. Some families do like to buy an extra charger, so there can be one in the bag and then one at home. Students need to get in the habit of charging their laptops in the evening because it's best for the laptop to be charged as much as possible at the start of the school day. The cost of this laptop is $7,280, and it is compulsory that all new year 7, 8 and 9 students purchase this laptop through the HP program. I explained why this is the case earlier. There's an online payment system that HP have set up, and I'll be showing how to use the system in a little bit more detail later. There is more information about the laptop program on this page. It talks about payments options, the warranty, the service, and the accidental damage and insurance options. There is other information on this website. There's a facts page with commonly asked questions. There's an e-safety page for tips for parents and students. And there's a feedback page where you can write in a question. It will send us an email and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So that's what the KG5 one-to-one laptop website looks like. I mentioned that I would talk about what the options are for year 10 and above. So it's compulsory for year 7s, 8s and 9s to buy a school designated laptop. But students in year 10 and above can buy the school laptop or they can bring their own laptop. Parents must ensure their laptop is always available for school use. Students need to be independent in using it, So if it's, for instance, an Apple machine, they must be comfortable using that interface. The help desk will be unable to fix any issues because they won't be able to open up the laptop or repair anything because it will void the warranty. The help desk will be unable to provide any software or re-image the machine because they won't have an image for that particular make or model. All antivirus and security software must be maintained. There won't be any accidental damage protection unless you privately buy some from whatever company the laptop is purchased from. And some school resources are not accessible, for instance, network drives. Other facilities, like the learning units, are also not available because the student will not be part of the one-to-one laptop program. This option is really good if your child is responsible and is going to look after the laptop and knows how to use it well. And if this is not the case, I do strongly suggest that you look at the school designated laptop instead. So how to pay for the HP laptop? The payment is through their new HP web portal, which will allow you to pay by credit card. The order deadline is April the 24th, and the laptops will be issued in the new academic year. I'm going to demonstrate now how to use this website. So the website is located at mos.com.hk/kgv, and that link is provided on our school one-to-one laptop website, and in a link which is provided to you in the email sent earlier today. When you get to the website, you need to click on I am a new KG5 student, and you'll be presented with the purchase screen. If you scroll down slightly, you'll see multiple different options of the same laptop. These are the same model, just with different add-ons. The basic model is on the left-hand side and is priced at $7,280. The second option is the same laptop with a slightly bigger SSD drive at 512 gigabytes. The third option is again the same laptop, but with 16 gigabytes of memory, 256 gigabytes worth of solid-state drive, and the last option has the memory and the solid-state drive upgraded, so there's 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of solid-state drive. This is why the prices are different on each of these boxes. So if you want the basic laptop, you just choose Buy Now on the first option. There are two accessories that you can also purchase. You can purchase an extra AC adapter, and you can also purchase the business sleeve. These will be added to your cart and added to your cost. So when you click, you can see the full specification of the laptop, and you can then add it to your cart. You can then agree to the terms and conditions and log in and check out. You do have to register, and if you have multiple children in the same year group, please register a different account for each child. The steps from here are very simple, and you'll be able to input your credit card and pay. There's also an option to do installments over the year. If you have any problems with this website, you can contact HP directly. There's a contact number in the top right-hand corner. So there's also some additional information that I wanted to share with you. We do at school have a filtering system, antivirus software, and a firewall, which helps to keep our network secure. We also have a comprehensive school-wide wireless network in order to support learning during lessons. I do suggest that you look at your insurance options. You might have home insurance, which will also help cover any laptop that your child brings to school. So it's worth that extra investigation to see if you're covered. Students will be expected to bring their laptop to school every school day, and they can store it in their locker, but most students choose to keep it in their rucksacks and then transport it from lesson to lesson and then back home again. It's important for students to understand that laptops may be used in any lesson at any time, so they should always make sure it's charged. Having the devices in the classroom is one thing, but then how students and teachers use it to enhance learning is obviously exceptionally important. We know technology will continue to develop and advance, and in some ways this will be unpredictable. As Mr. Blackshaw says, change is the only constant. We have to constantly be agile and adapt to what's in front of us. COVID is a great example of this. The fact that technology has become even more important in our lives over the last 2 years due to the pandemic. So what can we do about this unpredictability? Well, what we can do is make sure that students feel comfortable using software and hardware, and they can adapt from one program to another. This means giving them a diverse experience across multiple subjects. The quote at the bottom of this page, technology destroys jobs, but not work, is very pertinent. Yes, technology will change jobs, they will evolve over time, but different types of work will exist because of that technology change. To match the constantly changing world, we're constantly evolving learning technology development at KG5. We have learning technology coaches whose role it is to support teachers in developing their practices within the classroom. There's an ESF development team that looks after our Lionel software and develops it further. We share good practice at using technology between our teachers. We have training and workshops, not only for teachers, but also students and parents. We focus our training on supporting inquiry-based learning as well as content, which really helps support our MYP and IB curriculums. We seek student voice regularly to see what students are thinking about technology use within the classroom. We have comprehensive reporting systems within Lionel, which help both teachers, students, and parents see student progress. And I really want to emphasize that we have an ethos at KG5 of balanced usage. That's to say that laptops will be used regularly within lessons, but not all the time. We pride ourselves on having that balance between practical work, handwritten work, and computer work. Obviously, lately, the balance has been slightly skewed due to online learning, but as face-to-face learning is becoming more phased in lately, we are returning to that balanced model. So if you spend any time at KG5, you'll hear this word Lionel. Lionel is the name of our management information system, and students and parents and teachers will be using Lionel on a daily basis. Students can access a variety of resources which are located on Lionel, as well as their grades, their subjects, their timetable, and other information. We also have an ESF app, which is a continuation from the ESF app that you might have experienced at your child's primary school if they go to ESF. This is a key communication tool between the school and parents. At KG5, we also have a Google Suite domain. This means students have access to Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Slides, and Google Sheets, and other Google products to be used in their learning. This helps us build different skills using these tools. We will also use other learning tech platforms which are suitable for the subject and the student's needs. Our Google Drive is integrated into Lionel, and new apps are being developed constantly. Last year, our laptop induction for Year 7 students was very different, as we weren't able to start the year with face-to-face learning. Obviously, at the moment, we don't know what next year will bring. Having done face-to-face laptop inductions and also online laptop inductions, we know that both models work well and help students start using their laptop early on when they arrive at KG5. When students start at KG5, they will continue to learn about digital citizenship and e-safety through the curriculum. The ICT Help Desk will provide support if needed, and students can visit the Help Desk both before school, at break time, and lunchtime. They also have an email address that students and parents can contact to gain support. Learn Technology is embedded across all our subjects at all year levels, as well as having dedicated computer science lessons. We will be offering further support next year also. We do several talks during the year, which include cyber safety discussions, how to use Lionel. We've had various talks about screen time and how the teenage brain is affected by technology. At the start of next year, I'll also be providing families with a home media contract. This is a document to solely support the use of technology at home. It's an agreement between all family members about how technology is going to be used at different times of the day. It includes advice on how to manage the laptop and its uses for things like homework. If you have any further questions about anything from tonight's presentation, please reply to the transition emails with your question. These questions will be then directed to the relevant parties.
Thanks for watching tonight's presentation. Hopefully you've gained a lot of information, not only about the laptop program, but other parts of KG5 that are really important to us. Hopefully you've been asking questions in the comments and we've been answering them, so hopefully you've gleaned some more information that you need. As said before, please get in contact if you have any questions. Thanks for listening.